Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Albert Tan. Sorry for the delay. And first of all, my voice is not so good because I have a flu for the past few days, but the show must go on. So on my right hand side, or rather my right hand side, yes, it's Rick. So before we begin, let me do some housekeeping. Okay, let's see who is online on the right live chat. Rick, you can see that on the right hand side. We have an audience already. Okay, guys. Sorry for the delay, and we will start now, and hope that we have a good session. So my apologies again, and we are happy to have Rick from USA to be with us. So Rick is the founder of Meeting, and he's going to show us how Meeting is better than Zoom in terms of um, live meeting as well as also webinar. So before we actually begin, I would like to ask Rick some personal question about himself or maybe about his company, them to warm up the stage. And for guys who are already here, please tell your friends or in the Facebook group that no, we are live now, but very sorry, we are almost 30 minutes late. So Rick, let me ask you some question. So first important question is, where are you based in USA?
Oh, well, first, thank you, Albert, for having me on, and to everyone watching. It's my fault that we're late, not Albert's. It's my fault, so I'm very sorry. But thank you for being so gracious about it, Albert. So where am I from? I'm from Denver, Colorado, right in the kind of the middle of the United States.
Okay, so what? Okay, I remember some people commented about the company. So meeting is established in which year? Because some say it's a very recent. 2022. I believe it's actually earlier.
Yeah, well, I went into business for myself in 2003, so that's
Okay.
22 years ago. And I produced four different small business web-based services in 4 years, four different SaaS companies in 4 years, and they were all very successful. And then I started working on a nonprofit, and that got my focus for about 12 years. And now I'm back with Meetn, but the company's been around since 2003. But Meetn is our newest product.
Okay, you say that the meeting has been around since 2003. So are you the founder or you just establish it and let other people manage it?
Oh no, no, I'm the founder. I'm the primary shareholder. I do have investors, but the Meetn product is new. We were out in the public around 2022 or so, and in kind of a beta test. And so the Meetn products have been around a couple of years, but the company has been around for 22 years.
Oh, okay. That makes sense because I think somebody do some search, saying that hey, this company is
Yeah.
very recent, that kind of thing. Okay, now everything is understood. So the next question I want to ask is, I mean, what actually prompt you to start this what I call this SaaS call meeting?
Uh-huh. Well, I was already in the audio conferencing business, back in 2007, where we do phone calls. Okay. And the audio conferencing business was so good that when video started to replace it, I wanted to get into the video hosting business. Now, I'm a little bit late to the market because my partners didn't want to do that. My partners wanted to stick with the audio business because it was so profitable and so simple. But finally, I borrowed a bunch of money and I bought out my partners and I took control and I hired my own dev team and we got to work on Meetn. So that's kind of the history of how Meetn came to be. And one thing that's nice about this business, the video meeting business, is that when people use the service, they also promote the service, right? Because you have to invite people into your meeting room. And so marketing is a little bit easier because of that. And it doesn't matter how many people are using Zoom. It doesn't matter how many people are using Google Meet or Microsoft Teams or whatever else. It doesn't matter. You're going to use whatever meeting tool you were invited to use. So the only question is, can we get sales? If we can get sales, then we can grow the company and we can have a successful business. And I know how to sell. so uh, we are we still have investors funding us right now, but we are starting our sales campaign, our advertising campaign this week, and that's going to fuel our long-term growth.
Okay, that's good. And the audience will actually would like to know about your participation in this Appsumo. So if you are okay, can you tell us how are you doing in this Appsumo campaign?
Yeah, well, we got over 1,300 customers, right, almost right away. We're probably up to 1,400, 1,500 by now, and it's going great. It's going great. People are loving it, and our only negative reviews really happened during a denial of service attack, our first attack, and it took us a little while to learn how to protect ourselves without turning off the service. So we got that figured out, and it's been great. And I'm glad it happened because it happened early, and we were able to fix it and learn from it. So we're very happy with the reviews. We're very happy with the participation, and it's part of our overall plan.
Okay, that's good to hear because as far as I know, I also told you when we talked about it a few weeks ago about the participation in Appsumo. So looks like you are doing very well because you have about 1,500 customer already. So if you
Yep.
reach 2,000, you will fly. So hopefully you will
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Okay.
I think we will, because towards the end, the deal is only available for a couple more weeks, and so towards the end, when the deal's about to go away, we'll get a lot of additional customers. So I think we'll hit the 2,000 mark. We'll see.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's go into the detail now because I believe the audience come here to see
Yep.
how meeting can actually help them, can be better than Zoom because Zoom is actually subscription based. But right now we have an opportunity to buy meeting as a LTD. So why not? I will share your screen.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And you see my video too.
Yeah.
But this is the Meetn toolbar. And so I'm actually inside of a Meetn right now. I'm all alone in the room. If there were additional people, you'd see them in little windows, just like on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever. And our user interface is designed to be very simple, very easy. You have the main menu here, so you can get access to all the settings and whatever else you need. And here's where you can start recording or stop recording. And here's where you can manage your streams to YouTube or Facebook or whatever you want to stream to with RTMP. And in the middle, you can turn on or off your mic, camera, speaker, raise or lower your hand, and change your view. And over here, you can start or stop screen sharing. You can see who is in the room, attendees. You can start a breakout session. You can chat. And then widgets are kind of special because they're unique to Meetn. Widgets allow you to preload content, and then at Meetn time you can just click and the content appears. So if I want to show a screenshot, I just click and here's a screenshot of our UI redesign. So this is what Meetn will look like in probably a month or so. Okay, so I have all this content preloaded into my widgets area, so that at Meetn time I can just click, and the right thing happens. So, for example, I can click on this button bar, and now you see this row of buttons down below. Okay, and so that's a lot nicer than pasting a link into chat. Because in chat, if you paste a link into chat like all the other tools do, especially in a big meeting, the chat scrolls away, and that's no good. And the link doesn't look as good as this. Okay, this looks nicer, so this is going to help you sell. And we also have the call to action pop-up that allows you to display a pop-up, like here it is on the side, but I can change that. And so this is promoting a book, and you can click there to buy now if you were in this Meetn. And the way you edit this is you click on this little down arrow here, and you go to settings, and I can change the color to be pure white. I can choose to have it be on the bottom, and I can hit save, and then my call to action appears on the bottom in white. Okay, so it's very easy to customize these, but then and you prepare these ahead of time, and then at Meetn time you just click, and the video plays, or the here I can play a video which is a pre-show countdown, and it'll this is actually a video that's playing. Okay, but on other systems you have to share your screen to share a video, and you have to change over to the YouTube tab, and you play the YouTube video, but maybe it plays an ad first, and that could be kind of embarrassing if it reveals something personal, or if it is an ad for your competitor, and then you have to go full screen because you're sharing the video by sharing your screen, but then you can't see chat anymore, and maybe the people in chat are telling you that they can't hear the audio because you forgot to check the box that says share the system audio. So sharing a video on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever can go wrong all these different ways, and it's just the wrong way to do it. But with Meetn, you can preload an hour-long video or a 90-minute video if you want, or a short video, and then at Meetn time you just click and the video plays, and so on. We also have a timer, like this countdown timer right here, and then we have a web page popper. I can pop up any web page. Oops, that didn't work. Let me go check out settings here. Oh, I was testing something. So let's check. We'll do hello.com just for fun. Oops. https:// There we go. Okay, so now I can show or hide this website just by clicking. Okay, it's that fast. So these widgets are a way for you to preload your content, preload pop-ups, and including audios and videos and slideshows, and then at Meetn time you just click, and the pop-up pops up. So how nice is that? Okay, Albert, do you have any questions about all of that?
Okay, I do have some question, but the audience has many questions as well. On the right hand side, you can see from the live chat, but we don't go to the live chat first, because that will be reserved before we end the webinar. So other than that, I have a few questions which I actually gathered, from all the comments as well as people I've talked to. One of the most important question is, how sustainable is your business as an LTD?
Yeah.
I mean, this has been asked many, many times. And
Yep.
this is because there are so many founders that go bust or maybe stop the business because of one reason or another. So please help us to understand that.
Sure. No, that's a totally fair question, especially for Appsumo deals, because like some founders do Appsumo because they're desperate for money. And those are the deals that are probably going to go away real soon and they won't last long. So they're not really deals, are they? Well, in my case, investors put in a lot of money 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And so we are fully funded. We have 2 years of cash on hand with our current burn rate. And so we're actually hiring people. We're accelerating the business, and we're launching our marketing campaign. And so the marketing campaign is really the key. But we've done some early tests that were profitable, actually. So we are very confident that we can scale this up and grow the business. And we have enough money to experiment until we get it right. So in terms of our long-term business sustainability or viability, I think we have a really good story. I mean, this is my future, and we're planning on being here a long time.
Okay, thank you for your explanation, because this is a very important question. We
Oh
have
yeah.
almost every day, some founder will say that, well, with a heavy heart, we have to stop the services or whatever, So that
Yep.
really put a very, what I call, hard discouragement to all the LTD buyers. Some people say, oh yeah, I buy today, would I be abandoned in 2 years time or 1 year time,
Yep.
that kind of thing. So you know what I mean.
Well, I have people who paid thousands of dollars to buy a lifetime to buy lifetime access to all of my products back in like 2004, 2005. And so not only did they get all the products I released after that, when I was busy early, but they got Meetn as well. And so I take care of my customers, and I've been around a long time, and I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Because I mean, the reason why I want to hook up with you for this webinar is very simple. I scrutinize most of the deal that I want to go with the founder for webinar, and I'm also using this kind of a webinar package or whatever live stream software. Uh, Although today we use wave video, and just to answer some of the people ask, why don't you use meeting for this webinar and all that kind of thing? So the reason is very simple. If you use meeting, then we have a difficulty in actually presenting the screen, and it will be infinity screen when we do that. So that's why we always use an external another webinar tool to demo these webinar tools. So
Yep.
that's the answer. It's not that because we are no confident in these meeting tools.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'll also say that Meetn is primarily a meeting tool, and what you're using right now is more of an event tool. And we do streaming to YouTube and Facebook and other places, but that's not our primary focus. And so Meetn still. I just want to be upfront. We still have more features to add to be competitive as a streaming tool. So we do streaming, but we're going to be enhancing features over time. And right now, we're really good at meetings, and we're starting to get good at webinars. And then we're going to add kind of the production options and view control you need for events and live streaming.
Yeah, that is good. And one more thing I want to ask is actually, I mean, I always have this question, and some people have told me, your UI, I mean, the website as well as the backend, is so 1970 or 1980s. So, I mean, don't be offended, but then just,
I
I
I
mean,
was around in the 70s. I was around in the 80s, and it's not that old. It's not that old.
okay. So, what is your plan? Are you going to
Yeah.
revamp the UI or UX, so that it become
Well,
a little bit more
are
modern?
you still are you still showing the shared screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're seeing the
Well,
same.
yeah. So here is the new user interface. Okay, for Meetn. Now, as you can see, this looks a lot more modern. It's kind of inspired by Windows 11, and it has all the same features. It's the same overall layout. We moved the share screen over here because it fits better over there. And so we are going to be moving that direction. We will be updating the user interface. I've already approved this project, and it's being worked on right now. And so that'll be available in a month or so.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, thank you, Rick, for all your what I call explanation on my question. So let me hide the share screen and we come back to our main screen.
All right.
Okay, let's go into the question and answer because they are pretty cool. So I will project it up and you can read it out and answer accordingly. Let me do it now. I have to scroll down. Okay, this question by Francis. Will a French UX version available soon? He's a
Well,
French.
it will be available eventually. I wouldn't say that it'll be soon. Probably early 2026. So about 9 months away is my guess.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Next question by Perry. What quality has the video?
Okay. The webcams are at 720p, which is normal for video meetings, and then our recordings are 1080p because you might have more than one video up at a time, and so we do 720k or yeah yeah 720p webcam video, 1080p screen sharing video, and then 1080p recordings and streaming.
Okay, understood.
Yep.
Next question is by Justin. I'm pretty sure I use it in a couple of
Oh,
coaching group back around 2022.
okay. Yeah. So that's about when we came out, and we got some early usage, and yeah. So we've been around, and we're gonna keep being around.
Okay, this question by Arnold is actually very, very valid. You know, these two
Yep.
streaming platform as well as the meeting platform, Teven, as well as Sessions. So they are out of business now.
Yep.
They are in Appsumo as well. So they are out and they are completely out because
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened, you know, because especially the session is actually funded as well, but I think they didn't manage it well in terms of
Yeah,
costing.
I heard, or I don't know if it's true, but I read that Sessions invested in a lot of AI technology, but in kind of an expensive way, and they burned through a lot of their cash. So if that's, I don't know if that's true, but if that's true, it sounds like they just invested in the wrong direction. So at this point, the product is fully built. We're going to keep on adding features, but most of my focus now is on the marketing side to grow the business.
Okay, thank you. Next question will be: do you have a whiteboard feature that participant can interact, such as
Um,
annotation,
we
photos?
we are that's like third on our list for these kinds of extensions or widgets. We're working on video. We're working on a testimonial collector right now, so that people can record testimonials from all of their attendees, and then we're going to work on polls, and then we're going to work on the whiteboard. So we are planning on a whiteboard, but that's probably going to be 6 to 9 months away.
Yeah, whiteboard is actually quite important in that sense because I think Google Meet has that, you know. So
Yeah.
can we also have chat while being in a a live meeting and share files?
Yes. Of course, you can do chats while you're in your meeting. You can also turn off chats if you don't want chats enabled. We don't currently share files, but that's definitely on the list. We're going to be adding that hopefully in a few months.
Okay, when you share file, how are you going to do that? Is there any
Well,
idea?
well, the way we share files right now is the host would preload the file in widgets, and then share. So the host can share a file with widgets, but in the future, anybody will be able to upload a file if you permit it into chat.
Okay. Oh, Stephen Go asked, can we pre-record our evergreen webinars?
In a manual way, yes, because you can upload a 90-minute video into our widgets up to 5 GB. And so you could preload your webinar and then just click play. You click on it and it'll play the full night. We have a customer who does that. They do live meetings every Saturday, and then they record it, and then on Wednesday they play the recording. So we can. It's not fully automated though. The fully automated evergreen webinars will be in about 3 months. It's on our roadmap.
Okay.
Our roadmap is at meetn.com/roadmap. And so that is on our roadmap. That's the next 3 months of work.
Okay, next question. Where are the server based? Is there one in Europe? Is the
Okay.
two GDPR
Yep.
compliant?
Great questions. Yeah, the servers are in the US currently. We are planning on rolling out servers worldwide. as we grow. That will minimize latency, but already the internet backbone these days is very fast, very reliable, and so we're not seeing problems with U.S. based servers. But there is a question of GDPR compliance because GDPR has some rules about that. And the rules are it's okay to have data outside of Europe, but you have to follow best practices, the GDPR practices in terms of security and encryption as you're moving the data over. And so we do that. So we are GDPR compliant. We have the DPR. It's also known as an AVV in Germany as part of our terms of service, and so we follow those rules, and so we are GDPR compliant.
Okay. This question
Well,
by
I'll add one thing. Some people are under the mistaken impression that to be GDPR compliant, you have to have the servers in Europe, and that's actually not true. You just have to use the right processes and encryption when you move data, and we do.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
So Justin is asking, is the only admin can see the widget sidebar?
Correct. If someone else clicks on the widget icon, they'll see a message that says you have to be a host or admin to use this feature. If you are a host or admin, click here to log in. So that way we make it easy for hosts to log in correctly if they didn't, and yet guests don't have access to your widgets.
Mm-hmm. Is Meetn alternative to AirMeet?
I'm not familiar. I think I've used AirMeet once, but I'm not totally familiar with it. I believe it is.
Okay, AirMeet is similar. They're doing live streaming. They can do webinar.
Yeah.
They can actually do conferences, or summit, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we aren't doing. We aren't currently designed for like. You can do it, but we haven't done any feature work to help make live conferences, in-person conferences, be shared via Meetn. So I mean, you can do it. You can just take a video feed and then show it. But there are other features that you might want in that scenario that we don't do. So we're almost a competitor to AirMeet. Again, our main focus is on virtual meetings, and then we also do webinars very well. And we're going to be adding in more live stream features and control over the views for live streaming.
Okay. The next question will be from Ryan. Do you have mobile application for Android and iOS?
Yep. If you join via Windows or Mac, like a MacBook, then there's no download required. We operate in the browser. If you join via a mobile device, Android or iOS, then we do have an app, and it's just 2 taps to install.
Okay, understood. Is the tool more for big group or 1-to-1, 1 to 3 users sales demo?
Well, currently it's from 1 to 1,000 people. Well, tier 1 on Appsumo is for up to 100 people. But really, if you're gonna do 100-person meetings, you're gonna want tier 2 or above, the webinar version, because the webinar version gives you extra control over people in the meeting.
Yeah, that's true. Because let's look at I'm going to the meeting plan,
Okay.
So hold on. So tier 2 will be more viable than tier 1 because you have less feature in tier 1. So in order to get most of the benefit, you must at least tier 2 and above.
Yeah. Yeah. Tier 2 is a really good deal, and it gives you 3 meeting rooms with webinar capacity. And so you can use one for yourself, one for a teammate or partner, and one for some special promotion or something like that. And you can name every room. Every Meetn room has its own link address, its own web address. It has its own settings, its own branding, because you can customize the branding. Well, to be clear, you can customize the room background on the video stage, kind of like what you have here. So tier 2 is really a good value, and I would recommend that over tier 1. And then the only reason to get above tier 2 is if you have a lot of employees, typically, because you want every employee to have their own meeting room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go to the next question by Latif
Okay.
Mia. How do you compare with a live webinar?
Well, I've heard of live webinar. I don't have a complete comparison. I will say that our first goal, as I said before, was to do meetings well. Our second goal is to do webinars well, and we do still have more work to do there, but we're looking pretty good right now. I would guess that we're compatible or comparable, and that we're going to keep on improving until we go past them.
Okay, thank you. When is registration and reminder email to increase show rate?
We have registration and reminder emails right now, today, as well as and reminders via text are coming later this week. So we're actually working on this feature right now. When you schedule an event, I think on the first or second page, you can check the box that says, require registration for the event. And then you have the option to request the phone number or not. The phone number is optional. Email's required, phone number is optional. And when they register for the event, you can check whether or not they get a reminder 1 day before and 10 minutes before. Oops, Albert, I can't hear you suddenly.
I muted my phone because I'm coughing.
There you go. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Rick,
right.
I want to do one giveaway right now. And
Okay.
I want to give one question to the audience. And whoever answered that correctly, the first one who write in the chat will be awarded that prize, tier 1 LTD right now. So guys, please listen carefully. This question is very simple. If you are paying attention, you should be able to get the answer. So where is Rick based in USA?
Can I answer? Can I get a free tier 1?
Yeah, let's see who is the fast typer. Anybody?
You can probably Google it if you missed that part of the meeting.
Okay, I see answer. Okay, I see Justin. Justin is the first one. Justin, you are right. He is from Denver, Colorado. Congratulations, Justin. So you're the first winner for the tier 1 LTD. So let's move to the other question before we what I call give more prizes. Okay, let's go up. I kind of lost the.
Yeah.
There's so many questions,
Well, someone guessed I was in the Northwest. I used to be when I worked at Microsoft. I was in Redmond, Washington. And there we go.
Okay, no, let's ask. Hold on.
Okay, well, I see this question here. Wait, that was a good question. Okay, I'll answer the previous question first before I read this question. I only saw the first part of it, but the question was, do we have live captions and translation? I think it was the question.
Okay.
And the answer is yes. In fact, each attendee can pick their speaking language, and each attendee can pick their caption language. And usually it's the same, but sometimes like if it's a foreign language for you, you want to see it in the foreign language so that you just clarify the words that are being spoken. But so every attendee can pick their spoken language. Every attendee can pick their caption language, and so even if you have speakers with different languages, it all works out. It all works out. You get the captions in your preferred language, but it's very important that everyone pick their correct speaking language. We are adding AI transcriptions and AI notes. That's on our roadmap, so probably about 2 to 3 months.
Now that would be nice, because I
Yeah.
mean, if you have a international audience, that would be nice.
Yeah.
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 Let's move to the next question. With video, how much control do we have over the playback? I'm working on a project that involves doing video review and will need start, stop, slow down, playback, that kind of thing.
Yeah, when you play a video when you preload the video into widgets and then you play the video, you can stop the video, you can pause the video, you can jump forward and back 10 seconds, and you can use the slider to jump wherever you want. So you have full, and any host can do that. So let's say you have a meeting with 3 hosts. One person can start the video and someone else can control the video. Whatever you guys, we trust the host. We assume the host is correctly permissioned. So we have full control over that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
This question is: does a guest need to use an app to join, or they can join through a browser?
Again, if they're using Windows or Mac, they can join through the browser as a guest or host. And then if they're a guest or a host, but they're joining on a mobile device, then they have to install the app, and that's just 2 taps. Okay.
Next question is by Joginda. Can we download the meeting later? I
Yes.
guess it's a video.
Yeah, he's talking about the recording, I assume. So yeah, you can record the meetings, and then you can download the recording later. If you check the box, you can enable it for replay. And we don't charge for replays, so you can just enable the replay if you want. You can even enable the replay before your event, so that after the recording is done, your event link turns into a replay link, and so that's kind of nice. And you can also, sorry, you can also choose to include download links on the replay page or not. Whatever you prefer.
Is there a limit on the what they call the storage? You might have many meetings.
Storage, yeah. The storage limits are described in the Appsumo offer, and we will be charging when you go over those limits. But we're going to charge a very low amount. We're basically just going to cover our costs. Some of my competitors charge stupidly high amounts for for storage because they know they've got you, and I don't believe in that. So I want lots of customers, and I just want to cover my costs on the storage. So we're going to be very reasonable on storage.
Okay. Is there a way to use the same widget asset as template depending on the type of meeting?
Yes, you can clone or copy the widgets, and you can even share them with other Meetn users. So let's say you get tier 5 because you have a lot of employees and you want all of your employees to have a Meetn room. You can have a master account that has all of your company's widgets preloaded, and you can share, we call it a bundle. You can share one or more folders, Meetn folders, as a bundle, and you can share that with your entire team. So then everyone will have the most up-to-date content available. And so we have a lot of features in terms of templates. And the people who subscribe to those widget folders, they can clone those folders and then make changes on the cloned copy. So yeah, we do have the templates. Oh, you're muted again. Or I am. Nope, I can't hear you.
Okay,
Okay,
what
but
kind of widget can we add?
okay, what kind of widgets can you add? Okay, you can upload videos and audios and slides and slide decks. The way you upload a slide deck is you save it as a PDF. And then when you upload a PDF, we give you a choice. Do you want to upload it as a file and keep it as a file so that you can share that file? Or do you want to convert it into images like slides? And so it's your choice. But you can upload files of any kind, and then they'll be available to be shared in the middle of a meeting. And then we also have some built-in widgets like the button bar I showed, the call to action pop-up I showed, um, and we have the web page poppers. You can pop up other web pages, and then we have the timer widget, and we have something called a presenter note widget, which pops up a little note just for the host to see. So you can put that in the middle of your slide deck to remind you that that's the time to ask for questions or whatever. And then only the hosts see that. And then we also have a widget which is it's a widget that hides whatever the previous widget was. And so that's good. Like let's say you have a slide deck, but you want to show a slide and then hide a slide, and then show a slide, show the next slide and hide a slide. With Meetn, you can program the order of things. You can drag and drop and change the order of all of your slides and all of these hide commands. So you can go slide, hide, slide, hide, slide, hide. And then all you do is you click next, 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 next. And so this allows you to kind of program your sales presentation, and you don't have to think about it. You just click next.
Okay, understood. So
Yeah.
Rohit is asking, can we stream meeting on social media platform?
Yes, we have an integration right now with Facebook and YouTube, and then we use RTMP to stream out to everyone else. And we will be adding more integrations when we get time, but we have other more important features right now. And you can stream to up to 5 destinations simultaneously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does meeting support integration with third-party tools like CRM, email? If so, how seamless and
Yeah.
customizable are they?
Yeah, we plan on doing the Zapier and Pabbly webhooks. That's on our roadmap, so probably the next 2-3 months. And so when we get those webhooks in, you'll be able to use Zapier or Pabbly or any other automation tool to bring them into any CRM or email marketing platform. Yeah, and set up meetings and integrate with calendars and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the same question, almost the same question.
Yeah, the webhooks. Yeah, that is the same question, and the answer is the webhooks in 2 to 3 months.
Okay, this has been answered as well, So 5 simultaneous location.
5 simultaneous. Yeah. Zoom, for example, let's use stream out to one destination, and StreamYard and Restream allow you to do like 30 or something like that. And so we're kind of in between. We do 5 currently.
Okay. Can we record a meeting? Yes, of course.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this question a bit long. For the widget feature, while sharing a video or website, since you are not actually sharing your screen, is there a way you can still use your mouse pointer to direct attention?
Well, sharing of no. Okay. Yeah, that's called annotations, and we do not currently have the annotations.
Okay. Can participant meet join? Yeah, you can join in any browser without installing any app. Right? Definitely.
Yeah. Any browser, Firefox, Safari, Chrome, any Chrome-based variation, Linux, Chrome works fine too. So yeah.
Okay, is it possible to translate multiple language? I think that's where the answer, right?
Yep, we answered that, and the answer is yes.
What analytics and reporting tool does Meeting provide to webinar hosts or tracking attendee engagement, participation, and conversion rate?
Yeah, we do have an attendee report, but it just shows the attendee name that they chose. Well, if you enabled registration, it includes the email address and phone number and name as well. But it shows you when they logged in or when they joined and how long they stayed.
Okay, so next question is by Francis from France. What's the main difference between guys on space and Meeting, of course?
Um, Yeah, I'm not familiar with Kaizen Space, but we do expect to localize our user interface in not just French, but all the top languages in early 2026.
Space just left Appsumo I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. So
Okay.
basically, it's a meeting tool, not a webinar tool, more on a meeting tool.
Okay.
And their sharing file is by actually, you can actually share Microsoft 365 Office files.
Okay.
So that is the main difference as far as I know. So of course, the technology behind might be different from what you're having, and very specifically, Kaizen Space is not a webinar tool; it's rather on a meeting tools. So they might
Yeah.
not go to webinar so fast, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like we're a superset of Kaizen Space, but they might have some features we don't have. I'm not familiar with it.
Mhm. Okay, do you offer white label and custom CM features?
We don't currently. Maybe in the future. The limitation is our mobile apps. Mobile apps are there's no way to automate the creation of custom branded mobile apps. So when we end up having a web client for mobile devices, then we can look at this.
Do you have a payment gateway integration to sell the meeting as an event, or to collect payment during the meeting? I mean the
Yeah,
paywall.
we don't currently offer any kind of financial transactions at all. So um, uh, enough people are asking me for this that I'm thinking of adding it to our list, but it'll be a while.
Is it possible? Hold on. Is it possible to transfer control of your screen and computer, for example, as any desk?
Well, when you say transfer control of your screen or computer, I think they mean remote control. Um, and that would require that we have a native application. And right now we work in the browser for Windows and Mac. Um, so we do not currently do that. No.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Zoom alternative. So Zoom is a $1 billion company. So Arnold was asking, are you sure you can take on Zoom?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I kind of talked about this in the beginning when you're asking about why I chose to do this product, and one of the answers is that it doesn't matter how many people are on Zoom. It doesn't matter how many people are on Google Meet. You're going to use whatever meeting service you were invited to use. So in the morning, you might do a Zoom. In the afternoon, you might do a Meetn. And that's perfectly fine. So as long as we can sell, as long as there's some advantage we have, and Zoom doesn't let you preload content, we do. So that right there is a reason to switch over to Meetn. And a lot of people don't like the privacy policy and their history of Zoom. And we believe in freedom. We believe in privacy. And so, we're not going to, sell your private data because we're not going to collect your private data. And we're not going to sell, rent, or share any data with anybody else. That's right in our our terms of service. So we are not going to violate your privacy. We're not going to monitor meetings. We just uphold the rule of law. So so for those reasons, a lot of people like a Meetn better than Zoom. And if you think about it, nobody loves Zoom. I mean, they use it, but they don't love it. But people, when they use Meetn, they love Meetn. Some of them do, and so that's why we can compete.
Basically, Zoom get very popular during the COVID time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
They,
they
they
right
were
on the COVID.
they were there at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's all good.
How many guest presenter can we add for a webinar?
As many as you want. Yeah, yeah. There's no limit. We have like 5 or 6 levels of permission. We have guests, we have presenters, hosts, admins, and owners. Okay. Now, a guest is just a guest, has the fewest permissions. A presenter is like a guest who can always unmute and always share their screen because they're the presenter. Now, a host can mute or unmute anybody in the room and kick people out. So a host has control over a meeting. An admin has access to certain permanent room settings and past recordings and can schedule future events. And then the owner can add or remove additional rooms on the account. So those are the 5 or so levels of permission we have.
Okay. What about the number of video that is maximum video that can be put on
Yeah,
for the presenter?
on on the desktop or laptop, Windows or Mac, you can have up to 24 videos visible at a time in your web browser, and on mobile devices, it's 6 at a time.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there a way to incorporate our brand color into the UX?
Yes, you can change the room background, and in our UI update, we're also going to let you change the color tint of the main menu or the toolbar as well. And you can also we'll also move. Right now, we have colored tiles. If you don't have a video, just say your name and a colored tile. We're going to remove the colored tiles and just go to black, so that we don't compete with your brand colors.
Okay, thank you. I think you just answered that question, right?
Yeah, well, just to be clear, I mentioned the 5 levels of permission: guests, presenters, hosts, admins, and owners. But you can, but to answer this question more specifically, you can have as many hosts and as many presenters and admins in the room at the same time. We don't care. Some services like Zoom limit you to how many hosts can be in the same room, and to me, that's just weird. I don't know why they do that. It's something to do with their pricing model. So we don't do that. You can have as many hosts and co-hosts and or presenters as you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a time limitation for hosting meeting?
Meetings can be as long as you want, but there is a time limit on recordings. Recordings can be up to 4 hours, and so if you're doing an all-day event, you just want to record each session separately.
Okay,
These are good questions.
Let's do. What about Spanish interface?
Well, the Spanish interface will be early 2026. So the top languages would be, English, Mandarin, Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, and probably a few others. And we already and we'll just be using a third party service to do all the translation. And once we do one language, we can do most of them. And German's the hardest because of how long the words are. So and we're definitely doing German. So if we're definitely doing German, then we can do everything else, and that won't be a problem.
Okay, thank you. So this is what about No, this one. Can we integrate a Miro, the whiteboard or whatever?
Yeah, Miro, named after Jean Miro, I'm guessing, the artist. Uh, I forget what Miro does. Is that a slideshow technology? I forget Miro. It's a collaboration tool. Yeah, I think I looked at it. Um, so I think they do kind of like customized, specialized whiteboard kind of things.
And the
And
advanced whiteboard.
yeah, and the answer is I don't know. If Miro allows itself to be displayed in an iframe, then the answer is yes. Okay, because you can use our web page popper. If Miro does not allow their service to be popped up in an iframe, then you'll have to link out to Miro or share the link to Miro.
Okay, Ngok was asking, can I add Q&A in chat box or edit
Yeah,
on the meeting?
Q&A is on our roadmap. So next 2 to 3 months, and Q&A is a way for guests to post questions to the host that all the other guests don't see. And so it's basically a variation of chat. And so we will be doing that in the next 2 or 3 months.
Okay. So this is one of the hard question to answer, but I don't know, maybe it's a very easy for you to answer. Maximum 1,000 attendees.
Yeah. Yeah, we scale very well that way. It has been tested. We have a client that puts on 1,500 people with our special permission, so they go above 1,000, and we internally test up to 1,800. So yeah, 1,000 people is not a problem at all.
Yeah, Zoom definitely can, because I know I attended some event on Zoom. It's
Oh
more
yeah.
than 1,000 people.
Yeah, but Zoom gets pretty expensive if you want 1,000-person capacity, because you have to pay for their webinar tool, you have to pay for the $500 level, you have to pay more for the $1,000 level, you have to pay for the phone line feature, and all of that's included with Meetn. So yeah.
Okay, so I think you, for this question, is actually you have already done that. So maybe you just recap it for the rest of the people.
Yeah. Our first mission is to be a better Zoom than Zoom. Our next mission is to be a better webinar tool than any webinar tool. And then our third mission is to become a better StreamYard than StreamYard. Now, it's going to take a while, but the cool thing about a lifetime deal, if the company sticks around, and we are, is that you're going to get all of this as we add additional features.
Okay, how many videos can we upload via widget?
Right now, you upload one at a time. And the specific file formats, well, MP4s for video, MP3s for audio, and PDFs for slide decks. And then every other file is just stored as a file. Okay.
Can
Can
people
you
upload
upload videos
videos?
during a meeting? Yeah, you can upload videos during a meeting. I've done that myself when I wanted to share something as a demo. But normally you'd want to preload your content so it's ready during the meeting.
Do participants provide their email to enter the meeting room?
No. Well, only if you have registration enabled.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of registration.
Okay, GDPR again.
Yeah.
Can you delete the data?
Can you delete permanently data of meetings and participants from the platform? That's an interesting question. We certainly allow you to delete your entire account and all of its history. That's part of GDPR. I haven't got the request yet to delete just one meeting or just one participant. I don't think that's part of GDPR compliance, but maybe it is. So that's a good question. I'll have to think about that. But aside from that one niche issue, we are GDPR compliant, yes. And we have the DPR and in Germany it's called AVV as part of our terms of service. So you can check that out. Oops, you're muted again, Albert. Let's see. Can we make it so that participants can't see other participants' name or number? Yes. If you get the webinar level, okay, which is tier 2 and above in Appsumo, you can. There's a feature in webinar settings that says hide guest names and guest count from other guests. If you're a host, you'll still see everybody because that's for obvious reasons. But if you're a guest, you won't. So we do have that feature.
So this question is simultaneous meeting.
Yes. The whole point of 3 meeting rooms is that they're simultaneous. Yes.
Okay, this is the webinar question because do you send out email to remind people about webinar?
Well, if you enable registration, then we will say, well, you have to enable registration, and then you decide if you want an email reminder the day before or 10 minutes before or both. So you control the schedule a little bit there on the reminders.
Okay. But this question will be answered. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, can we recurrent the regular meeting rooms on tier 2? We are only 3. I think they mean simultaneous.
No, I think he mean permanent room.
What's that?
Permanent room.
Yeah, well, recurring meetings. Okay. The way you do a recurring meeting with Meetn is, you have if you're on tier 2, you have 3 Meetn rooms, right? Okay. And so each Meetn room has its own Meetn link. And so you would just paste that Meetn link into your recurring calendar event, and you're done. You just paste the meeting room link. It's that simple. So you would not schedule a recurring meeting in Meetn. You just create the recurring meeting in your calendar program and paste the Meetn room link into that. Okay. Are there interactive tools like polls, Q&A sessions, or pop-up messages to engage attendees? Okay. Polls are coming soon, probably in 3 or 4 months. Q&A is probably coming in 2 to 3 months. And the pop-up messages to engage attendees that we have right now, you can pop up chat messages just like this in Meetn. And then you also have all the widgets where you can pop up things to engage the attendees.
Can room be configured in advance with specific widgets?
Yes, that's the whole point of widgets. Is primarily you're preloading all of your content, organizing it, and then you have it at Meetn time. And widgets always go into folders. So first you create a folder, and then you put widgets into the folder. So you might have one folder for your sales meeting, another folder for a training meeting, another folder for something else. So you organize the widgets with folders, and then you have one folder for every use case.
Where can I schedule an event? I don't understand.
You go into the Meetn room. Well, I think I understand why they have this question if they already have Meetn. Most other competitors give you 2 places to log in. You have to log into the back office to schedule things and change settings and get recordings. And then you log into your room to actually attend the meeting, right? Well, with Meetn, I figured, why not just combine that? So with Meetn, everything happens in your Meetn room. So you go to your Meetn room and you click on the main menu. And if you're an admin or owner, you can click on events and recordings and schedule a new event. So the answer is, if you're an admin or owner, it's in the main menu. That's where you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, this could be a bit a little bit complicated.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you have multiple brands, maybe you have more than one business or more than one product, and you want to have different brands and different meetings, that would be a great use of the tier two or above, because tier two or above gives you multiple meeting rooms. And so you could have one meeting room for one brand, another meeting room for another brand, and another meeting room for your personal meetings, and another meeting room for your business meetings. So having more than one meeting room makes a lot of sense for this kind of thing.
Can we create breakout rooms during a meeting with a small
Yeah.
group? Yes. How many? Limitation.
Yeah, the answer is yes. And currently we're in beta with this. So we're limiting it to 50 attendees total. So you can have 25 breakout rooms and 50 people and being divided into two-person rooms. And very soon we'll be upping that to 1,000 attendees and 500 rooms simultaneous.
Okay. How many reminder email can we send for webinar?
Currently, you just have a choice between a day before and 10 minutes before, or both. And we are planning on making that more flexible. And when we do the webhooks and integrate with your own CRM or email service provider, ESP, then you can have full control over that.
This question: do you have folders to organize this file?
Yes, yeah, we do have folders. As I, well, yeah, this question probably came in before I answered that, but we do have folders in our widget feature to help you organize all the widgets.
Okay. So this question is the can we add the script, the widget scripts? For example, pick Excel, footer, outside, power.
I'm not familiar with these other services, so I don't know exactly what this person is asking for or asking about. But the web page popper pops up a web page in an iframe, and now that web page can have all kinds of scripts running on it. It can be a whole other application. So so that would be the way that we do some kind of interactive content. We don't have a scripting ability built into Meetn like this. We'd have to really think about that because of security and privacy violations.
Okay, this question: if we have 3 employees, will each one, tier two, has own individual access or everything is shared access?
Yep. Yep. If you have 3 employees, well, if you have 2 employees and yourself, that's 3 people. So then you'd want tier two. If you have yourself and 3 employees, you probably want tier three.
Okay, that's understood. Would embedding interactive elements like countdown timer, CDAs, custom button within virtual rooms enable boost your audience engagement or conversion rate?
That's the whole point. Yes. Well, assuming you do it right. If you choose weird colors and have bad text, then that's not going to help you at all. So you have some responsibility here too to choose good colors and choose good text. But yes, the whole point of these widget features is to increase engagement and conversion rates in a sales scenario.
Okay, TechCrowd is asking how critical is the ability to preloaded, slide, video, PDF pop up ahead of a meeting to eliminate screen sharing hiccups.
Well, that phrase "screen sharing hiccup," we probably all experienced it. You can accidentally reveal private information that's embarrassing, or that you can play a video on YouTube and it plays an ad for your competitor first. That's not good. Screen sharing can go wrong all kinds of different ways. It can have it can, if you have a poor Wi-Fi connection, which is variable, it can suddenly show it in a very compressed way, because the codecs that are used for video conferencing are designed for compression frame by frame, and screen sharing is a little bit different. So you can have all kinds of weird results with screen sharing. So yeah, the whole point of being able to preload content is it makes it simpler, it makes it easier, it makes it faster, and it makes it lower risk. So that's why we did so much work to allow you to preload all this content.
Okay. Okay, come back to these various tiers of owner,
Yeah,
admin.
yeah. If you log into your Meetn room as the owner or admin, you can go to menu, room permissions, and in the room permissions, you can add or remove admins and hosts. And then you can also go to menu, invite people, and you can get a host link and a presenter link for more temporary situations. And you can and there's a little recycle icon there where you can recycle the code and invalidate any previously shared links. So yeah, you have full control over who has access to your room.
Okay. So for recording, when it reach maximum, do you have any alert?
Yeah. It'll say the recording has been stopped, and then you can start the recording again.
Oh,
Okay, so
important.
he's asking about the browser-based experience. A lot of people like they don't have to install anything for complication reasons, like technical ability reasons, and just security and privacy of their own system. Zoom famously left a web server installed even after you uninstalled Zoom from Macs. And even when that became public, they didn't fix it. Apple had to release a new version of the operating system with special code that removed Zoom's web server from their client systems. So Zoom in particular has the whole history of violating people's privacy in all these different ways. And so a lot of people like that they don't have to install anything if they're using Windows or Mac. They do have to install the app on mobile devices, because when we began this project, the mobile web browsers weren't quite ready. They're almost ready now. You can do it, but and Zoom has a web client, but even Zoom says for the best experience, use the app. So the web client isn't quite ready yet, but they are getting close.
Okay, this question: how to set webinar and meeting, as I couldn't find any option to set differently.
Yeah, well, in one sense, a webinar is just a big meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the same interface, but there are two different features that you probably want to have turned on when you're doing larger meetings. One is what we call large event mode. Okay, in large event mode, people will be watching the meeting instead of participating in the meeting, and so that's what most people think of as webinar mode. And then the other feature we have is called hide muted attendees. So StreamYard and this tool we're using today, they work typically by you mute people or unmute people to bring them on stage. And so Meetn works the same way. So you enable that feature that hides all the muted attendees. And if you think about it, all of your guests are going to be muted, and only you and your co-hosts or co-presenters are going to be unmuted. And someone can raise their hand, and then you can unmute them, and they pop up on stage. So it's a very natural way to bring people on and off stage is by muting or unmuting people, if you have that feature enabled. Okay, I think you muted again, Albert.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. a few more questions.
Sure.
Okay, I don't understand the limitation on number of rooms. I prefer limitation based on meeting hours per month with the ability to create room as a needed.
That's interesting. Well, but if you think about it, people often want control over their room. Each employee wants to have their welcome message, their room background, their settings, their widgets. So there is a reason to have multiple rooms, and each room has its own meeting link, and each room can do its own meeting simultaneous with whatever is happening in the rooms. So there are a lot of reasons to have uh, the limitation based on number of rooms. You typically need a meeting room for every employee, and you typically need a meeting room for every brand or promotion that you're doing that you want to have pre-set up. And so that's why we have the room model that we have. Nope. I'm sorry, Albert, you're muted again.
Sorry, I muted it. I think that depend on your own preference. If you're one man show, I don't think you need the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's move to the next question. Any way to save export the chat before meeting get expired or closes?
Well, we even if you forget to save the chat log is available after the fact in our events and recordings section. Okay, so during a meeting or at the end of the meeting, you can click on the chat menu. If you have the chat sidebar open, there's a little menu icon there in the title bar. You click on that and you can save the chat to file, or you can copy the chat. And then even after the meeting, you can get the chat in the events and recordings section.
Okay. Okay, who can create widget? All widgets are visible for all the hosts and admin.
The answer is hosts, admins, and owners can create widgets. Presenters cannot, and guests cannot.
Okay, understand.
And the widget icon is visible to guests, but if they click on it, they can't. They're told that they have to have it. They have to be an admin or host.
Okay, for breakout room, is there a way to manage who is joining each breakout room? I mean, that's the
Yeah,
question.
yes, yes. You can manually drag and drop people into each meeting room, or I'm sorry, each breakout room, or you can have Meetn randomly put people in every room. Up to you. We are going to have named rooms. That's on our roadmap, probably in 2 to 3 months.
Can we play PPT presentation in the meeting?
Yes. Well, you would save your PPT PowerPoint presentation as a PDF, and then you upload the PDF.
Okay, I think we have most of the question answered. Okay, this question: what does brainstorming mode mean on meeting?
You know what? The Appsumo team grabbed that from an old marketing copy of mine, and so we don't actually have brainstorming mode. We used to. We had this feature. It was kind of a custom chat where people could post ideas anonymously, and people could vote on those ideas. And so we called that brainstorming mode. But no one used it. Everyone was confused by it, so we just killed it. I thought it was a good feature, obviously, because I took the time to invest in it, but no one used it, and no one missed it when it went away. So that's what it was.
Okay, I think we have answered most of the question because some of the question are
Yeah,
repeat.
sure.
So
Well,
it's getting.
we've answered a lot of good questions.
Mhm. Yeah,
We
why
have a
don't
good
we
audience.
do the giveaway now?
Okay.
I will give them the link to participate, and then we'll do the draw lots later. Hold on, guys. Let me find the link. Okay, this is the link, participation form. So, guys, I will put it in the chat right now. Hold on, give me 1 minute. 1 second, not 1 minute.
I want to acknowledge Gene. Gene likes brainstorming mode too. So do I. But maybe I'll bring that back. I'll look into it.
Okay, so the participation form is there. So just fill up the form as usual, and then we'll draw the lots. After that.
Albert, in chat, the link is not clickable because there's no space after the word from.
No, if you are in
Or form, I mean, form.
what do you say?
Oh, no. Well, you posted the link once on Facebook, once on YouTube. The
Yes.
YouTube post, the link is not clickable because you're missing a space after the word
Oh,
form.
okay. Let me just redo again. Okay, I just click the link.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, please participate, and we will draw the lots for the remaining 4 prizes. So we have 5 prizes altogether. 3 tier 1, 1 tier 2, and 1 tier 3. Okay. Before we end, we have to do the lots. No. So in the meantime, Rick, why don't you show? Can you show the roadmap and explain a little bit while we are waiting for everybody to join the what they call the giveaway?
Yeah. Let me go to Meetn. Oops. I can't type here. Okay, so you see it here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this we're doing this week. Reminder texts in addition to emails. We're using. We're coming out with a brand new beauty filter and makeup filter, and that is combined with our improved virtual background filter, which will also support green screens and blue screens. This feature, it turned out, is not possible. I thought it was possible. It's not possible. None of our competitors do it. We found one tool that tried to do it. It doesn't do it very well. So auto detect is just not fast enough because it has to detect every single word almost. So that one we're not going to do. I got to take that off. So I mentioned custom color for the toolbar. This we've already done. When you click through your different slides, you no longer see a gray screen and a spinner. It just shows you slide. Boom. This is on our list. Some of these are small. We're going to change the waiting room pop-up to a more discreet banner that doesn't get in your way. This we've already done. The playback speed. So for replays, you can choose your playback speed. That's already done. Let's see. So the full progress bar when playing a video. Okay, that's done already. So that's done too. Dark gray attendee tiles is coming probably in a week or two. Captions and translations enabled for meetings up to 1,000 attendees. Right now, we only do it up for the first 50 attendees. So that'll be bumped up to 1,000. I mentioned name breakout rooms is coming soon. Also, breakout room support for 1,000 attendees is coming soon. Join flow streamlining. We're just going to make it a little easier for people to get in the room faster. I mentioned the webhooks as part of our roadmap. Here it is. And I think this is a duplicate. We already talked about this, didn't we? Yeah, that's the same as the one up there. And then Q&A mode for chat is also on our list. So those are those are all coming soon, next 2 or 3 months.
Okay, thank you. So I think we have all the names already. So unless there are more people coming in. So guys, if you have not put your name, please do so. I will just share my screen to the wheels of name. Hold on. Let me share my screen. So can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, so we have about I from the count now is about 30 over people online now, but we only have 20 over names. Some of you didn't fill up the name. Oh, oh yeah, more coming. Hold on, let me put it in because maybe some delay. Hold on. Okay, so we have 27 names. So we'll draw three times, four times, tier one, two times, tier two one time, and tier three one time. So we'll spin the next two time as a tier one. So as usual, whoever name has been what I call drawn, please type your name in the chat so that we can give the prize to you. Okay, are we ready? Let's shuffle and we sort out the name first. We'll see any repeated names.
And Gina's asking for a widget that does this in Meetn. And Gina, I already screenshotted this and was planning on that. So you and I are thinking the same.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's spin now. We'll spin tier one two times. Let's go. Faiz Musa. So Faiz Musa, are you there? Please type your name or remove your name first. Okay, so I spin another time. Planet Vidya. I don't know if this is coming now. Okay, let's see. Let me check the chat. Faiz Musa, are you there? Okay. Is that you, Faiz Musa? This one? Please type your name. Sometimes people forget how to type their name. Faiz Musa.
Yeah, my app is crashing here on my side. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I won't touch anything. I'll just stay here then.
Okay, Faiz Musa. So please type your name. So the second one is Planet Vidya. I don't know who is this guy. So okay, no problem. I mean, as usual, we want people to type their name because to make sure that this is the right person. Okay, no problem. Faiz Musa, you are there. But the second person, Planet Vidya, I don't know who is this guy. Let me check. If it's not coming to claim the prize, we will actually spin again. Not coming. Okay, so I will spin again for the tier one prize. Let me do that. Okay, this is the entry. Let's shuffle. Rohit. Yeah, Rohit Mahajan, I believe you are here, but just make sure that you type your name to claim your prize. Are you there? Rohit, you are the second winner. Okay, I give you some time. Please call him, anybody, your friends or whatever. I will just add in the last, whoever put in their name later. Let me add in, there are few names, if I'm not wrong. Who are they?
Yeah. Rohit replied in chat, so he's here.
Okay, congratulations. So let me add in the name first. Okay. Okay, I believe everybody is there. Okay, now we are going to choose the fourth winner. That is actually tier two. So let's shuffle. Ryan. I'm looking at Ryan. Congratulations, Ryan. Let's give your name first. So that you type your name in the chat. So we have first winner, Vice Musa. Second winner is uh, first winner is Justin already given. Second is Vice Musa. Third one is Rahid Mahazan. This Ryan is a winner of tier two. So we're going to win to spin tier three, the biggest prize today. Let's shuffle the name. Oh, Justin. Okay, you put us on the dilemma. Okay, Rick, are you there? Rick?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Justin won two time.
Okay.
So how are we going to solve this small problem?
Well, I think he gets the bigger prize, and then you re-roll for the other prize. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, that is a good idea.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, because he also participated quite a
Well,
lot.
I'm supplying the prizes, but it's your group, your
Mm,
podcast. So whatever
mhm.
you want to do.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Justin, we just decide, you get the tier three, then the tier one, we will spin one more time for other people.
Yeah. He's donating it back, so that's good.
That will be much better. So while we are waiting, what about the other people? Have they come in to claim the prize? Ryan, where's Ryan? Oh yeah, you are here. Okay, congratulations. We let us spin the last prize. Okay, Rohit, have you come in to claim your prize? I didn't see you yet. Let's spin the last one. This is tier one. Tier one. Joginda, Jetty, Jetty, are you there to claim your prize? So we have two-person. You need to type your name to claim your prize because we don't encourage you to leave before we actually end. Okay, let's see. No, Ryan, Ryan, you has claimed your prize. Rohit, you have not claimed your prize, and Jetty, you have not claimed the prize. I didn't see anybody yet. Okay, Rohit, you have claimed your prize. So now we left with who? Who have not claimed? Jetty. Yes, Jetty. Please claim your prize, Jetty. If not, we will spin again. Okay, guys. Before we end, we need to finalize this. The last one, Jetty. If you don't come in, we will spin again. Okay. So since it has not come in, so let's spin again. I mean, to be fair to other people who stay up, Let's spin. Momena Katun. Okay, I just remove your name first. Just make sure that you put your name there. Momena, are you there? Momena. Okay, guys, we'll make an announcement on our Facebook group, how to claim the prize. So don't be what I call too excited. We will not give you the prize today. So we will do an announcement on how to claim the prize later. Okay, guys, seems that the last prize is nobody want to claim. Because if not, we will to spin again. Momina Katun, are you here? Okay, congratulations. You are here, you got a prize. Okay, guys, let me go back to the screen. So the winners are actually Faiz Musa, Rohit, Ryan, Justin, and Momina Katun. So we will announce the winners officially in our group on how to claim the prize. So guys, while we are actually at the end of our what they call Facebook, no, our webinar, let me say a few things before we end. So I'm actually having a what they call quite a bad cough and also flu, but I promise Rick today I will do the webinar, so I stay on. So successfully, thank you, Rick, for your what I call insightful what I call explanation on some of the big question that is actually brought forwarded to you, and also that you have actually quite a good roadmap, I would say. And I've tested your meeting platform. It's actually very stable in terms of video quality and delivery. So the only thing that I want you to what I call make it better is actually the UI and the UX experience.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
is
I agree.
something that the audience also wanted to do that. So guys, this webinar platform or rather meeting platform is actually for sales in the Appsumo. So if you don't win the prize you want to buy, just go ahead, to support the founder and also support our group as well. So before we end, Rick, you have anything to say?
No, well, just thank you, Albert, for making this possible and for being patient with me getting started, and for everyone else to be patient with me. And we're here to serve you guys. So we hired 2 more customer service people in the last week. So we're growing, and we're here to support you. So I look forward to serving all you guys as customers forever.
Okay, thank you everybody, and we'll see you again in the next
All right.
webinar. Thank you,
All right.
Rick, as well. Bye
Thank you.
bye.